If you're thinking I'm at Shrewsbury railway station again this morning, you're right. Today I'm going down to Cardiff on the 7:17 Transport for Wales service, then heading off to Swansea where I'll catch another train to Fishguard, then I'm getting the ferry to Rosslare. I'll update you a little bit later on in the journey as to where I go after that, but it's going to be a trip I've wanted to do for a number of years now. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Let's go make a trip. There's been a lot of flooding in Shropshire in the Marches in February. This was clearly evident by the number of waterlogged fields we passed on the train.
The next stop is Cardiff Central.
Still raining by the time we pulled into Cardiff Central, and this was a theme that would continue along the southwest coast of Wales all day. I was having a great time on this GWR Class 800 Paddington to Swansea train, which was very clean and modern inside. Unfortunately, just before we came into Swansea, the train ground to a halt, and despite my earlier hand gestures, that's where it all started to go a bit wrong. Okay guys, well I'm in a taxi at the moment with loads of other people. I'm not quite sure of their names there. I do apologise for that. But anyway, things have gone really badly in terms of train services to Swansea, and the Swansea to Fishguard train was also cancelled. So we're getting a taxi to Fishguard, but I don't think we're going to get to Fishguard by the time the ferry sails. So we may then have to go from Fishguard down to Pembroke, hopefully in the same taxi, and I'll update you later if we manage to get on the boat at all. So yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be a Predictably, the Stena ferry left Fishguard without waiting for the rail passengers, who were left stranded in a deserted departure hall on the quayside. Very kindly, the taxi waited for us and duly took us down to Pembroke, where Plan B was put into operation. Irish ferries operate the route from Pembroke Dock to Rosslare, and we were able to transfer onto this service without any fuss. A special thanks to Irish ferries, who in contrast to Transport for Wales and Stena, seemed very well organised and efficient.
That might not be the kind of carpet now you're talking about.
What an absolute day so far. I'm on the Irish ferries and the Inishmore, and we're just heading out of Pembroke Dock now to Rosslare. 40 knot winds, 4-metre high swells. Stabilisers are going to be deployed. All the vehicles are chained down. It's going to be a bit of a ride, but at least we're on our way. Estimated time of arrival in Rosslare is about 10:15 at the moment. So we'll see how we go, but it's just amazing, I think, that so much delay has been caused by some flooding on the line. And you know, we missed the Stena ferry by literally 10 minutes. They wouldn't let us on it. We got to Fishguard and it left as we were looking out the window pretty much, and then we had to get a taxi down to Pembroke, and so we've moved on from there. And it's a little bit late. I think we're probably around about 6 hours behind schedule, but I've got to say big shout out to the guys that I've been travelling with, my travelling companions, for what seems like days now, but is only probably about 6 hours or so. Met them on the train, absolutely brilliant bunch of guys, and they've been absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't have wished to meet better people on this. It's really made the trip worthwhile, and we're going to make some great memories and have some great videos hopefully, and photos to look back on. Anyway, I'm going to head inside in a bit, brace myself for the oncoming storm, and I will speak to you again tomorrow morning. Cheers for now. I like the MV Inishmore. There's plenty of deck space to explore, which is one of my favourite things to do on any ferry crossing. It's gone 10:30 by the time I got to Rosslare. I was very kindly given a lift up to the bed and breakfast by Michael's dad, one of the chaps I met in the taxi on the way to Pembroke. Good morning from Rosslare. Had a great night's sleep in the bed and breakfast, which was very nice. Tusker House by the Sea, I would recommend it most highly. Just walking down to the railway station now, which is going to take me up to Bray. I understand that the line is closed from Bray into Dublin due to maintenance this weekend, so there's another bus transfer, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to head down there now, and train's at 7:20, so I've got a few minutes to wait, figure out the ticket machine, and I'll be heading off into Dublin, and I'll speak to you a little bit later. Cheers for now. Shortly after leaving Rosslare, the train calls at Wexford. I must say, the quayside here looked really interesting. I must make a point of stopping here properly to explore on a future trip. It was a beautiful morning, and I soon forgot the issues that had plagued yesterday's travel. This line is so picturesque, and with great views of the coast and the Wicklow Mountains inland. This truly was the highlight of the trip. Because of engineering work, the train terminated at Bray. I had some time to kill in Dublin, and hadn't been for a number of years, so it was good to wander around some of the familiar sites and some of the new additions since my last visit. Caught the very busy shuttle bus to Dublin Airport, and it took me about half an hour or so, I would say. The T2 lounge at Dublin Airport is located in Terminal 2, funnily enough. I was able to access it using my Dragon Pass. It's a fairly small, standard type of lounge with the usual offerings of food and drink. I found the staff quite pleasant, and there were reasonable views of the aircraft outside. After several glasses of wine, it was time to make my way down to the gates, and that's where the fun really started. Although my scheduled departure was 15:40, the weather was getting worse thanks to Storm Jorge, and we didn't actually leave the gate until it must have been about 5:30. We boarded the aircraft, and it started up, taxied around in a full circle, and came back to where it started. The captain informed us that there was a technical issue with the de-icing, and we all duly got off and trundled off back to the terminal. Stobart Air, who were operating this flight, did give us some refreshment vouchers at this point, but I must say they were pretty poor in keeping people informed. There were no announcements. Unless you went up and asked, you didn't really know what was going on. Eventually, a new aircraft was found, and we finally departed from Manchester at 20:15, almost 5 hours late at this point. Bumpy ride back to Manchester, but at least we were going somewhere. We eventually touched down at Manchester Airport at approximately 21:15 in the evening. Okay guys, what a day this has been. I left Rosslare at 7:20 this morning. I've just got off the plane at Manchester Airport, landed about 21:20, had to endure a coach tour of the airport. We finally got through. They dropped us off at Terminal 1, which was useful, and I've managed to get a train which will take me to Manchester Piccadilly and get me the last train of the day back to Shrewsbury, getting in at 00:05, would you believe? So yeah, it's been an epic day. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll catch you next time. See you for now.